Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a video to see if Battleshock is back in action. Made a video and received a funny comment under it when it said something along the lines of, 40K players will convince themselves that Battleshock is bad even if it let them win the game. I was laughing about that. I'm not going to give more details than that because I don't feel like the internet should be annoying internet people at that for a funny little joke. But it's pretty true. We have dogged on Battleshock related issues for quite some time, so I went to see if there was any other Battleshock intensive army that is worth it. And as a Tyrannage player, I mean, yeah, the call could be coming from inside the house, but today we're going to be talking about Chaos Knights. And out of this entire list, I'm surprised that there's only one person that did this. A specific thing in their list and this list. So we'll talk about that, but also I think there's some hope for this. I realized that this was last month and it seems that nobody's been trying Chaos Knights lately. I get it that the Grotmist detachment is probably not ready for all Chaos Knight players, and everybody is trying other Grotmist things, but I want to talk about it some more. So, Chaos Knights, you have an army rule now. And that army rule goes good for your detachment rule, the original one. With Traitor's Lance in combination with Harbingers of Dread, you have the ability to battle shock your opponent easily, well, easier, and profit from it. Traitor's Lance in the battle shock step of your opponent's command phase if an enemy unit is below its starting strength is within a foot of a Chaos Knight's model, the War Dogs included, from your army. That enemy unit must take a Battle Shock test. For the purposes of this ability, if a unit has a starting strength of 1, it is considered to be below its starting strength while it has lost 1 or more wounds. The army ability, Harbingers of Dread, got changed to while an enemy unit is within a foot of this model, each time that enemy unit takes a Battle Shock test or a leadership test, subtract 1 from that test. Each time this model makes an attack, if the target is Battle Shocked, add 1 to the wound roll. Each time an attack targets this model, if the attacking model's unit is battle shocked, subtract 1 from the hit roll. So, as you can see, they finally went back and did pretty nice things. And, well, Super Heavy Walker, I guess, technically is in there. Titanic, you can go steal through walls that are less than 4 inches in height. And can move within engagement range of any enemy models, but cannot end that move within it. So I understand that you probably still aren't doing the big nights. I get it. Probably not. I was really trying to see if they're viable now. And while I do think the changes are nice, as far as the ability goes, for what I was currently looking at, i.e., going against 3 DDAs or the new Oath of Moment, I don't think it's safe for the Titanic Knights to come out and play right now. But does War Dog spam look appealing? And I think so. However, if I can't get you all to change taking little knights, well, into big knights, can I convince you to fix your ratios? Hopefully. Because, yeah, for most of it, you will see the list stops after one Stalker. Because you need a character to make your Warlord. However, I think. Oh, the enhancements look really nice right now. Lord of Dread will make it so that at the start of the fight phase, you can select one enemy unit within engagement range of the bearer. That enemy unit must take a battle shock test. For 15 points, this onto a Stalker could be nice now that we've really understood how good Nemesis Claws can be, into which if you just touch somebody and now they lose the strategy, the ability to use stratagems, it gets a little bit better. So things got cheaper. I think that was more of a sign of, hey, I know that you can't use another knight in the list now, but if you fix the ratios, you can take the enhancements. So, Lord of Dread is pretty nice. The Trader's Mark. In your movement phase, select one enemy unit within a foot of the bearer. Must take a battle shock test. And mind you, with this, both of these would be at -1. So, I think that's already a pretty decent buff. Now, I still don't love the price points for these. I think that's kind of batshit insane. But again, you kind of don't have anything better to do when your units cost 140 points. Or 130, I think is the cheapest one now. Aura of Terror. If you control an objective marker at the end of your command phase and the bearer is within range of the objective marker, that objective marker is said to be tainted and remains under your control until your opponent's level of control over that objective marker is greater than yours at the end of a phase. In addition, while an objective marker is tainted and under your control, that objective marker has the Despair Dread ability. As if it was a Chaos Knights model from your army, subtract 1 from battle shock and leadership test taken for enemy units within 12 inches of it. So, that's pretty nice. You probably want Sticky. Sticky is very good right now. You probably want more reasons for your opponent to take tests and take them at less. Or more? Anyway, you want them to take tests. This is pretty nice. I want to see this more. And then finally, one that actually is a buffed version of what, well, Armor of Contempt. Panoply of the Cursed Knight, 40 points. Each time an attack is made against the bear, subtract 1 from the AP characteristic of that attack. Now, that one might be the least favorite for 40 points. It's still good. I don't see anybody bringing a big knight, i.e. why I'm making this video, I guess. So, this probably loses value. But for the other three, for another, let's see, 30, 45, 70, yeah, uh, yeah, I think we can make that work. And by we, well, I'm not a Chaos Knights player yet. Now, going into do you change what you're bringing? Probably not. However, maybe, just maybe, one less brigand for another stalker. Personally, I would suggest one less carnivore for a stalker. You're taking probably max brigands anyway. Improving AP for closest eligible target on ranged. That's nice. That's nice. Armor of Contempt got nerfed, so that's even better in the fact that somebody will have to figure out when they want to take some additional AP or not, if it's the closest eligible target. So War Dog Brigand, I don't think this is the one that you necessarily cut first. Stalkers is the one that I feel that you add more of, because now, with an army rule that works, there's a good chance, in combination with the enhancements, you're going to be rolling things at +1 to wound regardless. Each time this model makes an attack that targets an enemy unit, if there are no other units from your opponent's army within 6 inches of that target, add 1 to the wound roll. 140 points. War Dog Carnivore, also 140 points. You can reroll the charge rolls made for this model. I get why this is appealing, but with the same melee profile, I'm just a little bit more sold on making those stalkers and giving enhancements. Now, before we talk about the final tab, I realize um I realized my lesson from what 2 Chaos Knights videos ago, into which the thing that might quote unquote make your army better is not always welcome because not everybody wants to do it. But I will say it's surprising that out of this entire list, only one person did this. Out of all of this, unless I missed one, but I'm pretty sure I checked enough. Only one list got the crown and did this. So hasn't done my crazy experiment of maybe less carnivore, more stalker. Hasn't done that. But instead, we have blue horrors. What do blue horrors do? Well, they give you infiltrate and they can deep strike, but more importantly, they have cackling horrors. While an enemy unit is within 6 inches of this unit, if the unit contains one or more blue horror models, worsen the leadership characteristics of models in that enemy unit by 1. Congratulations, we have a winner for what I think is the best allied unit. A lot of these went with Nurgle. A lot of them. And mind you, a lot of these had good reason. It was before your army rule did jack shit, but now that it does, I think if you are willing to do that, if you're not, right? You know, I just feel drop some carnivores, put in stalkers. That's just me. I love the name Courage the Cowardly War Dog. Um, moving forward to make this quote unquote more viable. These are good enhancements. Battle Shock does matter. I think we're all coming to grips with that. I think Battle Shock is important. It has stopped. It can stop actions. It can stop army rules such as Tactical Brigade. Tactical Brigade is doing things. Astra Militarum, Orders, Tau, Empire, um, guiding, or is it observing that it stops? Can't remember. It stops one of them. Thousand Suns, Cabal Rituals. Now, mind you, only one of those is wrecking ass right now, but yeah. So, just wanted to talk about Eric's. Sorry if, man, I haven't taken French in a while. Don't remember how I would actually say this appropriately. But I think there's some shits here. There's some shits here. The Exalted Flamer is also nice, and the fact that you can remove cover. I guess I'll bring that up for everybody to see too. Exalted Flamer. Doo-doo-doo. Oh no, sorry. I confused the Exalted Flamer with the Burning Chariot again. The Exalted Flamer has assault and suppresses. Did did we see that right? Is that's now that's another interesting attack. As you can see, just live feedback of me fucking that up. I would assume that if we're going to bring in somebody too, it would be the Burning Chariot to remove the benefit of cover to make AP stick. But instead, we have suppressing for your opponent's movement. Interesting. But for me, I think still the winner is Infiltrate, -1 leadership, while you're doing Battle Shock shenanigans. So, if everybody's going to stick to doing War Dog spam, and you know, I can understand why, let's at least make it a little bit more interesting by putting the Stalker on top. It is a battle line character for kind of a reason. Okay, maybe not a good reason, but it's a battle line character. I think there's time to at least try to profit from this combination of things. So, bam, 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 might as well try it. So, yeah, if you liked the video, like it, got a comment from me, comment, and until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.